Today, we've got a packed show from breaking news to topics that will keep you informed. So please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what the Hammer talked about, then share the Jersey Shore podcast to others. Damon also looks forward to your comments during this episode. Tonight's Jersey Shore podcast starts now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Jersey Shore podcast. That is S-U-R-E, because we are always sure. I'm your host, Damon Galdo. We have another guest coming on. You guys have seen him a lot on my podcast, and he has his own podcast now under the America's Pulse Network, and this is brought to you by the great America's Pulse Network. So we have a lot to get into today. You'll see the breaking news going across the bottom of the screen when you guys are watching, so I'm just going to let you guys take a look at that. But I'm just going to go into a quick monologue, talk about the show. Now, there's a couple things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the rhetoric from the left. And even though they say it's not there, they're not doing it, they're not saying it, but we'll play a clip on that one. That's why Trump had 3 assassination attempts, 3, because of the rhetoric of the left views. So we're going to go into that. We're going to talk about that in the first segment. Second segment, we're going to talk about show me the money. Because if it's show me the money, I'll show you a couple of clips, all the fraud that's coming out now. I mean, everyone knows by now, Minnesota, Los Angeles, now Ohio. I mean, I can't wait until they get into New Jersey. I can't wait until they start diving into the fraud in New Jersey because it's so expensive to live in New Jersey. And thank you. Good evening, Donald. I just see he just jumped in. And then we're also going to talk about the media, and we'll get into that in Hammer number 3. And then, of course, Hammer number 4 will be a Patriot and Loser Award. And I'm going to save that until then. I'm not going to talk about it until then, but I'll bring it up. And somebody, I guess you would say, what is it? Imitation is the best form of flattery. So I'll leave it at that until then. So stay tuned until Hammer 4. So with that, we're going to go into our first Hammer segment, and I'll bring on the guest, Jack Brangan. It's coming on soon. There he goes. He's coming. So, hey, Jack.
How are you tonight?
Good. And, Jack, real quick, before we even get started, your new podcast that you have on 8 You want to just mention that?
Yeah, it's New Jersey State House Watch, and I do it with Constance Ditzel. And we're going to focus entirely on, it's all New Jersey. That's all it is. We focus on Jersey, what's going on in Trenton, the bills that are going on, the committee hearings, all that sort of thing. And the format of the each podcast, it's Constance and I, but we bring on a guest for every podcast. And we have Vicki Flynn coming up. By the way, we're live on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday at every month at 7:30. However, if you can't make it, or you miss some of the prior podcasts, you can find us on Apple, Amazon, or anywhere you get your podcast downloads. Pretty much we're there. But if you go to Apple Podcasts, you can download. Paul Canitro was on. He was a great guest talking about Sanctuary City. Melanie Dragon was talking about Maha and some of the big changes. There have been big changes in New Jersey since Mikey came in. Sean Highland from the New Jersey Family Policy Center. So we have some really great people. Vicki is one of the great fighters in the assembly for the Republican folks. After Vicki, Brian Bergen is another one. And it's not just going to be assembly people. We're planning on doing one show on child trafficking, and we're going to try to set that up somewhere around the World Cup, because the World Cup is a hub, and these big events is when child trafficking is the biggest. Sure. And it's something we really need to shine a light on in New Jersey, because we did have 1 million illegal aliens come into the Garden State. And where are the children?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Who
did we hand these children over to? I mean, there was no longer any genetic matching at the border, and they did that for a reason, so that children could be lost.
Yeah,
and they did lose them. I think there were hundreds of thousands of children mean, this is it's criminal in my mind.
It
It's
is actually. It is, Jack. And it's, yeah, so I can't wait to see that episode because it is criminal. And what else is criminal too is we're going to talk about in this this Hammer segment right here is I want to play this clip real quick. And this is after the third assassination attempt on Trump. Now, listen, I've been talking about this. It was an assassination attempt on Biden too. You know, it doesn't matter. The president of the United States gets targeted for a third time. And this is the reason why. So let's roll this clip.
We are in an era of maximum warfare.
No one has ever been more dangerous to this country than Donald Trump, and he is a fascist to his core.
That man cannot see public office again. He is not only unfit, he is destructive to our democracy, and he has to be eliminated.
Never before in my life have I called for mass protests, for mobilization, for disruption. But I am now. These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace.
We're in a war right now to save this country, and so you have to be willing to do whatever is necessary.
So there you go. All this rhetoric they spew out there, and it's not their fault. They have nothing to do with it, nothing at all.
Yeah, that was terrible.
It is, and they keep doing it. It doesn't matter to them. They'll stop for a day and then they'll denounce it and say, "Oh, well, we shouldn't be. Everyone needs to dial it down to right and left." But if you look at the numbers, I mean, listen, has there been right wing hate and violence in the past? Sure, there has been. But if you look at the numbers now, it's majority left wing. So I don't care who it is. It shouldn't happen because elected officials like that. I know we have free speech, Jack. We have free speech, First Amendment right, and you can say whatever you want. You can say that, but if you're an elected official or you're a news agency, you have to be held, to a certain standard because people elected you. They believe in you. They look at you as a leader, and you say this, and you're going to have somebody that's unhinged, try to act on it.
So first of all, these people have a platform, right? So they automatically, have a audience of maybe millions of people if they're on a network. They're on the network based on the approval of the FCC. And there needs to be some standards. I mean, this is supposed to be for the public good is the purpose of these networks. These are public networks. These are our networks. And they should not be used for anything that gets close to assassination of anyone. So I really wish the FCC would get involved because these folks are on borderline, and there are limits to free speech. And if you approach to inciting a person to action is where it becomes illegal. And if it's insightful, and you say we are at a maximum war, this person is a threat to the country, this person should no longer be in office. These infer and imply action, and that's what we're seeing. We saw it 3 times.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we're seeing. Listen, and I don't think anybody's free speech should be hindered or stopped. I don't think anybody should be censored on social media or anything like that either. But I just think if I were to say it or whatever, but if you're an elected official and you're a leader, you get elected, you're the leader. It's like following a general, in the battle, and they say these things, then you're going to have one of your soldiers, think it's my duty to do this. I have to kill this man, to save our democracy. That there should be a little bit different. Not to say we should take that right away from them to say it, but they should have a moral obligation to realize that they shouldn't say it.
The Democratic Party has no morals, no morals at all. They seceded from the Union once. There's sort of a soft confederation forming now, among blue states. People are leaving those blue states. States like New Jersey, we're no longer following the CDC. We're on our own. We're no longer, cooperating with ICE. We're on our own. So, they will stop at nothing. Their problem is that they have no platform other than Trump is bad. That is the only platform they have. And there's two people that they could not control, and that those people were an existential threat to the Democratic Party. One was Charlie Kirk. As long as Charlie Kirk was alive and speaking truth, Democrats don't want to hear truth. They just want to hear, power. And the other person is Donald Trump, and they're doing what they can. Charlie Kirk and Donald Trump are going to take down the Democratic Party. And I think that's what you're hearing. You're hearing panic. Because little by little, I think with Comey, I thought I read somewhere today that there were going to be additional charges beyond these seashell things, that there are going to be some other things thrown in there. Maybe they're going to get to the line in Congress and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know where it's going to go with the whole seashell thing. He knows what it meant, but
that might have been a placeholder. That might have just been a placeholder to.
Yeah, so we'll see where that goes.
Further, I hope.
He's a weirdo. He reminds me of the dude from Signs of the Lambs that puts the lotion in the basket or gets the hose again.
Yeah,
there's something wrong with that guy. But I don't know what's going to go with the seashell thing. He knew what he was doing when he posted. I think that he's a scumbag guy, in my opinion, anyway. And I seen we just had something put up that our producer put up, something that Donald said about Maxine Waters, and then I see that Ann jumped in and said, "Hey, go Damon! Thank you, Ann, for joining." I don't know who the other person is, but what is this name? I don't even know. But either way. It's just you have to realize that like I call it sticks and stones. Sticks and stones will break your bones, but names will never hurt me. But the thing is, it does when it comes from a leader. Like when you believe in somebody and you vote for them, and they tell you that this is what you have to do. We got to stop this man at no cost, at any cost. And people are going to that are unhinged. Will believe it. And they're going to do something about it, and that's the problem.
Just think of the country if they were successful and had killed Donald Trump. And this is what the Democrats want. The more chaos that there is in the country, that is their crack cocaine.
Yeah.
The more chaos, the more power they feel. So, it's getting a little scary. They got to connect, somehow they got to connect what's going on here. The one guy in Butler, why did they cremate his body so quickly? I don't know what's going on here, why that happened like that. But it just, we really need to know the truth, and we need some perp walks.
And honestly, that's a question for Trump, too. You were the one that was shot. Why aren't you putting it out there? Why aren't you asking the question? Why did they cremate his body so fast? I know there's a lot of Secret Service that didn't do what they were supposed to be doing. He had, Biden didn't give him enough agents. And they pulled some back. But still, if I became the president after I got shot, almost head blown off and got shot in the ear, I would want to know everything about it. Like why?
Yeah.
Was this guy cremated so bad? Why we see the FBI hosing down the rooftop?
Right. So if in the midterms, if the Democrats take back the House, that will mean the line of secession is Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Hakeem Jeffries.
Yeah.
If they take out Trump and Vance, they're back in. Hakeem becomes president. That's how much how important these midterms are.
They are. They're very important. So vote DamonGaldo.com, everybody that's watching right now. Make sure you get out there and vote for me.
They will do that. They'll hire some Iranian to detonate a bomb somewhere to take them both out at once, something like that.
Yeah, of course.
I even hate to talk about it, but
I know. It's whatever it takes. It scares the hell out of me. Like I said, I don't live and die by Trump, but I could never vote for Kamala. And then
Well,
Trump
they've
is still-
ruined everything. I mean,
still said
they
it
have
was-
ruined even things like impeachment. Now, impeachment was always a last resort act that you would do with a president. You would never really impeach a president unless you really had solid evidence. These Democrats are, trying to impeach him like they're passing a bill. That they've ruined the gravity, the seriousness of impeachment. They're just using it as a weapon as needed.
Yeah, I know.
It's terrible.
I in my lifetime anyway. I mean, I know presidents have been impeached. They tried to impeach him, but what was it, 3 times already they tried to impeach Trump? They tried to impeach him when he wasn't even in office.
Yeah.
it's like, come on. It's like, really? That TDS it really exists out there. But I don't know. As long as he does what he says he's going to do. I mean, listen, I don't agree with him with everything, but if Kamala Harris in office, everybody is listening right now, anyone out there, think about it. What if she was in office? We would be. I don't even want to talk about it because I'll have nightmares about it.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yes, exactly. So
Iran would have a nuclear device.
Yeah,
and they'd have the missiles to drop them on New York, and they would.
Yeah, and they would. Death to America. I mean, that's what they believe. That they wouldn't mind dying because what is it? 72 virgins they get. They say they believe in. So I wish I was part of that religion and it was real. Because my wife's watching right now, so
you better watch out.
So, all right, Jack, we're going to take a quick break and we'll go on to the next Hammer segment.
Yeah. This one's for New Jersey. For every working family that's had enough. Name's Damon Galdo. And I'm just getting started.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Jersey Shore Podcast. It's SURE because we are always sure. And
that was short.
Yeah, we cut it in half, because we haven't played the whole thing.
Okay.
So, but you'll see it at the end of the show. So, but this Hammer segment is Show Me the Money. And the reason why it's Show Me the Money is because we're getting ripped off left and right everywhere. I mean, you had the Minnesota, estimated $9 billion, but they're talking about maybe $20 billion now. You have LA, which is ridiculous. All those,
but Jersey's fine. Jersey's fine.
We're going to get to Jersey. I can't wait until somebody does it in Jersey. Anybody out there that's listening to this, if you have the time to be a Nick Shirley, and do your investigative work, please, contact us. You can work for the APN, America's Pulse Network, or Jersey Shore Podcast, and go out there and expose all the fraud, because I'm sure there's a ton in New Jersey. I mean, it's in the billions and billions in LA, now Ohio too. So I'm going to play this first clip, and we'll talk about it.
Okay.
As I look back with the benefit of 2020 hindsight, I realized that what our team saw was the early stages of a somewhat loosely organized criminal enterprise beginning to pillage Minnesota's public benefit system. I was shown a text conversation between the owner of the center and a friend. The friend had asked the owner, "How much longer are you going to do the daycare scam?" The owner replied, "Another year or two. I'm going to buy some nice homes in Nairobi." The owner was on public assistance at this.
He was on public assistance.
Yeah, I'll let you ride with that one, Jack. I mean, because the fraud is crazy, and Walls knew about it. That's Minnesota, and we have.
I mean, this is why it is so expensive, to live, in particular in New Jersey, because our tax money is being diverted elsewhere, whether it's fraud, which we don't know yet about New Jersey, or it's illegal aliens that is sucking over $7 billion in cash, goods, and services out of our economy and instead of going to our school system, instead of going to our property taxes, etc. Now, Cherry Hill just passed a tax hike. Well, the money that's supposed to be going to Cherry Hill is being diverted because when illegal aliens arrive here in New Jersey, they don't come here with Aetna and dental. They come here with nothing.
Yeah.
So they got to go on Medicare or Medicaid, I should say. And, they just arrive with false papers and, they're on, and then they're on our dime. I mean, we're hearing all about, the medical prices going up, going through the roof. We have men, women, and children, close to 1 million, that arrived in the state with no medical coverage, no way to pay for medical services. So we're all paying for them. So that is theft of public money in my mind.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean,
these people are not supposed to be here. And when they use tax money for people that are not supposed to be here, to me, that's theft of public funds.
Yeah.
And then with Medicaid, once you start digging into that, I mean, that's billions of dollars. And, Medicaid is going through the roof. I think it went, they budgeted $800 million more for Medicaid. Now, that's a split between New Jersey taxpayer and the federal. But look, doesn't matter. It's our money, whether it's federal or tax.
You're correct in that. And then everyone was up in arms that Trump's going to cut Medicaid and all this stuff for people, and the Republicans are going to cut Medicaid. No, it needs to be policed. I mean, because they're saying that we're going to run out of Medicaid by 2035 or Social Security as well, whatever it may be. But the amount of money that goes towards it, it's insane. And when I look at this, and this is nothing to do with racism at all, but I just have to read it because all the Somali fraud, Somalis are known for pirating. You remember what was that movie with Tom Hanks? Yeah, when the Somalis, they took over the ship and everything. They're known for it, and that's what we're and all these people that from the DOJ indictments and trial verdicts. You have Salim Ahmed Mohammed Arden. I don't even know how to say his Abedakir Mohammed. Same thing. Abedakir Mohammed Ashir Assad Mohammed Abshir. I could keep going. More. I mean, this is the list of the people that were indicted and were either convicted or on trial right now for all the fraud. And there's not one. I mean, I would say like American name because I can't even pronounce them. And they were a lot of them are from Somalia, and not trashing Somalia. I don't want to.
I mean, the reality is even legal immigration. I don't think we need people. There's no shortage of people in our country. What we need is talent. We need smart people, yes. But all these other people, they come in and they go right on the public dole. That's not the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah, I mean, how do you come back in the day? Listen, I can't even say that far back in the day. I don't have a back in the day like you do because I'm.
Yeah.
But
for you, it was yesterday to me.
But no, I mean, look at it. When you had the Irish, the Italians, whoever come over, when everyone was coming to this country, they didn't. There was no program they got on as soon as they got here. They had to work. A lot of them, right. They would starve if they didn't go to work. And they were part of building this country. And I'm not even saying Irish, Italian, but there's many Polish. I mean, you can go down the line. Even Chinese, even just keep going. But no one ever was just okay. I'm going to go to America, and then the second I cross the border, I'm going to apply for all this free stuff and then live off the system, or even basically rape the system like they're doing with all this fraud, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah. The immigration system was never meant to be a humanitarian system. The immigration system had really one purpose, and that is to provide skilled and unskilled labor as necessary to the United States of America to make America stronger and more productive. That's the purpose. And when immigrants came over, even with South Jersey, there used to be immigrants that came. There used to be a Del Monte cannery in Salem County, I think, and immigrants would come in every spring to, to pick tomatoes, basically. And when they were done, they went home.
Yeah.
Right. There was a cycle to it, and that's the way the law was written. And the purpose was to help with the labor for an American company so that it can be more efficient, more profitable, and everybody in America benefits. It is not meant to empty out, 1/3 of Ecuador and dump it into Jersey City. That's not the purpose of. We have humanitarian programs for that purpose, but it's been the whole immigration, even for skilled labor. The H-1B visa is another big scam. That I witnessed when I was working. We brought, a lot of skilled Indian workers over, and they were great people. They were great technicians, and we needed them, right? But they really need to put an end to it because we don't need them anymore. And that's a whole other podcast because that's something that we still have many contracts IT contracts offshore. We need to bring back home and put our computer science graduates coming out of Rutgers and the universities, back to work because too many are still over in India. We have to bring them back. So,
think about following the money. I mean, you had, I think Nick Shore is 23 years old or something like that. He went out and did this. If our government, I always say less government is good government. Okay. So, but I wouldn't mind if we had a different section of the government that had an oversight over stuff like this, because you would save so much money. You have all this fraud. I mean, billions and billions. I guarantee it's going to be a trillion by the time they figure it all out. That's why Doge got involved, and that was great. They started it. And
yeah, what happened with the Doge money? I mean, this is theft. This is waste. Why isn't somebody in jail for that? I don't understand.
That's the thing. They should be. The people need to go to jail for it. I mean, of the people I just named, they were charged in jail. The names I couldn't pronounce. But the thing is, if all this waste and fraud and abuse, if you had a section of the government, team that would just look into it and then say, let's have some oversight over this and make sure that you don't have. In Ohio, there was 93 companies in one building, 93 companies in one building with the windows blocked out. There was no actual windows; they were covered. Yeah. And then when they found out about it, it was actually the Daily Wire that looked into it. And you go in there and had all these LLCs on the door, pieces of paper saying, whatever the XYZ LLC, and it was for Medicaid, and it was millions and millions of dollars that were going to LLCs of that said they had their office in this building, and they don't. It was fraudulent. There's nobody there. But we would save so much money. I don't care if we paid them, whatever department it would be, we paid them money to get rid of this fraud. We would save so much money in the end. And that's why big governments, it's too much government. And
if tomorrow all the illegal aliens went home, we'd have $7 billion back into the Jersey economy. If we take, we don't know yet, but for Medicaid, all that fraud, I have a feeling this state would be in really good, straits. We'd have plenty of money. There would be, taxes could be lowered. Cherry Hill would not be, all the school systems would have all the money they needed. But our tax money is being diverted away from what the citizens of New Jersey need. And there's a finite number of taxpayers. And now there's going to be even more illegal immigrants migrating to New Jersey because it's the best deal. So since we're a sanctuary state, yeah, this is a recipe for disaster.
It's absolutely a disaster. And I would just want to say thank you to Donald for your comment again. That was our producer just put up there. But the amount of waste of money, I mean, you look at affordable housing. And I can't stand when Democrats say affordability. You're the one that caused it. You know, that's why nothing's affordable. And you know what? I want to, before I get into all this, let's play this next clip. And then there's a graph too as well. And
okay.
We're getting into, so let's play this next clip.
If you pay taxes in this country, you need to listen up because Luke Rosiak over at the Daily Wire just exposed one of the biggest and most blatant cases of Medicaid fraud I think I've ever seen. Columbus, Ohio, which just happens to house the second highest Somali population in the entire country, spent $1 billion on home health care in 2024 alone. And get this, the state of Ohio is one of several that has granted waivers so people can use Medicaid outside of its original intended purpose, like say checkups for low-income children. Instead, Ohio is actually paying people to go into Medicaid beneficiaries' houses and perform chores and cleaning services like cooking. Oh, and by the way, you don't actually have to be a licensed healthcare worker to do this. Many of the people performing these services are actually relatives of the Medicaid recipient. And because these services are being performed in homes, there's no way to verify whether they're actually doing it or whether someone is just saying.
So, Jack, there you go right there. It's unbelievable. You know, it really, really is. And this is where government gets too big, where they don't pay attention or they don't care. Because there's
$1 billion now. Who is the treasurer in Ohio?
Yeah, I don't know, but the treasurer is the treasurer of the Democrats that fund their campaigns, the PAC money that they get these people elected. That's probably why. Well, I mean, you look at Tim Walz, and that guy, he was calling everybody a racist when they first exposed the fraud in Minnesota. Now he's out there championing himself. If you have fraud, you're going to go to jail. It's like, are you kidding me? You did nothing about it. It was FBI that just raided all these places. You had nothing to do with it. It's
where did all that money go? That $1 billion?
I mean, a lot of it funded terrorism. You know, I mean, that what they're showing so far. It's like, come on, man. And then Tim Walz.
This is criminal negligence.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is.
It is because you're not going to tell me that nobody knows about it. And all that money, wherever the money goes. I mean, if you look at it, all those people I tried to name earlier, I couldn't say it. But even so, the ones that are involved, if you look it up yourself, everyone out there, don't believe me, look it up yourself. Follow everybody that is getting indicted for this stuff and the fraud, and you'll see that they're all Democrats. I mean, 99% are the ones that are involved. You know, because I was searching it earlier. It was hard to find, but you had to go to the voter registration, every name, and find out where they lived. But I was going through it, and they're all Democrats, and they're funding these campaigns.
I don't know where all this money's going, but this is like soft reparations. You know, you would never get $1 billion for reparations, but if it's getting smuggled out of the system and distributed, you know, could be another scam to do that as well. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just insane. It's insane how we got this far, and that's why too much government is bad government. You know,
I mean, to get $1 billion that was taken out of the system that should be benefiting people that really need the services of Medicaid, and don't get them. Yeah. Because the money runs out, and that's the end of it. They can't pay the doctors. They can't pay the nurses. Yeah, so there's the financial, and then there's the human suffering that's created by this. These guys got to go to jail. I mean, everybody, frankly, right up the line.
Yeah, you're right. And I want to show you something else too. This graph I want to pull up in a second. This is here it is, right here. This is from 1965 until today. Now you see the blue line right there. That is inflation from 1965 until today. Look at the yellow line. That is college tuition. That is when the government took over, giving out federal student loans. So a bank would assess, a risk of somebody going to loan money to. Is this person going to finish their college? What do they go to college for? I always attribute Pete to this because he always mentions underwater basket weaving, as a like a major. So if they take a class like that or lesbian dance theory, whatever it may be, they're never going to make any money of being able to pay the loans back. So this is once Lyndon Baines Johnson actually started this, and then Bill Clinton pushed it forward. You'll see the timeline. And pushed forward, and Obama put the icing on the cake. And now they reach into your pocket, the taxpayer dollars, give it to anybody that wants to go to college, and that's fine. Everyone should have that opportunity to go to college. But when they take it out of the taxpayer dollars, and you can go to college for life, you literally can. You can just keep taking classes, and then for your entire life, and rack up the debt, and you don't have to pay it off because you're going to be dead if you keep going to all these classes. And that's the problem because it's using taxpayer dollars. And that's why the college tuition skyrocketed that high above inflation, because the colleges look at it and like, oh, well, it's taxpayer dollars. We're going to raise all the rates. That's another thing. Like that when government gets involved, then everything gets too expensive. And that's the problem,
Yeah, so your graph went up to 35,000, and a lot of colleges are double that now.
Yeah,
up above 60,000. I don't know how parents do it without going deeply into debt. That's and I don't know. I think it's part of the overall scam to sort of neuter young people and not allow them to get their life started, to get married, to have kids, get a house. I think for my generation, I think the average first house was like 30 years old, 31 or 32 years old, was people buying their first house. And now I think the first house is like 40 or 42, something like that. So, I mean, there's a benchmark right there that between the 80s and now, young people could get started with a house. And even the affordable housing, if you look at a lot of the units, they're rentals. And a lot of them are rentals. And this is not doing anything for affordable housing because, first of all, even the rentals are expensive. They're probably like $2,500, a month. And there is no generational wealth that's created. And when a family outgrows an apartment, they're stuck. They can't get to the house.
It's
really screwed up.
Yeah, it's a push for socialism and communism, Marxism, whatever you want to call it. It's all pretty much wrapped up in the same bow. And that's what it is. It's never worked anywhere else ever in the world. No country's ever survived pretty much.
Yeah.
But somehow it crept into the United States because you have all these younger people. And I would say it's because they never faced any true adversity. They've never been through a war, never been through this or that, and they've had it easy. When you have it easy like this, and then the needle starts to shift towards socialism. Well, everyone should have it easy. It takes away from people that want to work based on merit. They think they're owed something because they live in the United States. They don't even know what it's like to live in another country, that would never have what they have here. And people lose sight of that. And that's what it is. And they don't understand that now we're 37, almost $38 trillion in debt. It's not sustainable. It's not going to last. And we can't keep going this way. But the younger generations think, oh, well, socialism is great. We should have free buses. We should have free this and free that. No, you can't have that. And you have to work for what you have to earn, your way through life. And that's the thing. If you don't earn your way through life, then nobody wants to. No innovation, You won't have new things. That's why capitalism is so good. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's better than any other country that doesn't have capitalism. Because if you work your butt off, like I'll use Elon Musk as an example, richest man in the world. Now, anyone can think what they want about Elon, but the guy innovated. He came up with an idea, and he pushed it, and he built a company, and he kept pushing harder and harder and harder. That's his right to do that, to make all that money. And guess what? He employs how many people does he employ? I don't know, maybe 1 million people. I'm just throwing it out there, or maybe 500,000. Who knows? But he employs a lot of people, and that's what capitalism is about. But if you just push, like the same amount of money for everybody, then innovation stops and everything dies. The economy dies. Nobody gets
right. Yeah. Well, they have to. They also have to take money out of circulation. I think that was another problem. That there was a lot of money in the economy, which pushed prices up too.
Yeah.
That's another factor. But yeah, all this economic stuff gets away from me after a while. It's hard to tell what the right move is, and the only one that seems to know is Trump, right? That really understands this, and his economic advisors that he, surrounds himself with. So hopefully they'll lower the interest rates. That'll help. I think. I would like to see states be more proactive and doing things like zero out property taxes for the first 3 years, something like that, with a commitment to stay in the house for 6 years, something like that.
Well, that would be good if you're purchasing the house at a regular rate, because they have the affordable housing that they build here. And I'm in construction. I talked about this in the speech I gave on Saturday. And this is actually part of the reason why the Norcross family they got indicted for 13 counts of racketeering. So, and we talked about it before as well. These developers, and I'm in construction, I build. We're not developers. We just build. We get on the job and build it. When the money's there, the developer says, "Hey, I'm going to build this," and that's what we do. But being in construction and learning this stuff, the tax credits they get in New Jersey. So they make affordable housing. They build it. So the houses, a developer comes in and they get, say it's a $200 million development that they're building. You're putting up houses, say that.
Right.
They get to build it for $100 million because they get all these tax credits and who makes it up? Who makes up the difference? You do, I do.
Yeah.
Everyone else that's listening right now, you make it up, because the money has to flow. And if they're giving all these rich people, that developers, tax credits,
why is there never any money for young people to get a tax credit, for 3 years?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that would be the way to do it. Give it to the young person that just graduated high school, college, whatever it may be. Getting started off. It shouldn't be for the big developers. And what I don't know if remember the bill offhand. I think Lou Greenwald sponsored it and kind of made it easier for what they got indicted for to do.
Right. It's the net benefits bill.
Yeah.
I forget and what that bill says. What is the net benefit of a tax credit? So theoretically, if you give a builder $100 million in tax credits, the net benefit better be more than that back to the state of New Jersey. That's the idea. So if you give a gift of $100 million, New Jersey better get back $150 million. So the net benefit would be $50 million back to the state. So it's supposed to be, we're supposed to make money on it. Well, for the deals now in Camden, right? And I think there's some sort of a train station that's going to be built. They're going to throw that net benefits aside. This is like your generally accepted accounting principles now are thrown out the window, And if they get $200 million back in tax credits to build this building, they have no obligation to try to make the state whole. So we're going to lose money, and that's how they all get rich, frankly.
Yeah.
Because it's fungible. Those tax credits can be resold for cash.
Good point.
So it's a scam. It really is a scam.
It's tax credits that they get that they don't have to pay taxes on. But then if they were to sell the property or sell whatever, they can turn the tax credits into liquid cash by selling them to the buyer. That's crazy. It really is. So,
it's a scam. It's a legal scam. I think Greenwald, all these credits start in the legislature, and this is where Greenwald does his dirty work on behalf of the power brokers in Camden, and he sets the table for them, right? The tax credits will come, and there's no obligation to make the state whole. You just you take whatever you need and give back whatever you can.
Yeah, he should know the game by now. He's been in for 30 years.
Yeah, I'll pay you later.
Yeah. Right. So, all right, Jack, we're going to take another quick break, and we're going to go into Hammer 3 and talk about that.
Okay.
America's Pulse Network. The mainstream media is bought and paid for. The truth is twisted to fit their agenda. But America is waking up. Because podcasts are the future for trusted media. Welcome to the America's Pulse Network. It is a network built by patriots that upholds the Constitution. But America's Pulse Network stands for God, truth, and the America First movement. There is no corporate propaganda, no government spin, just real news, real talk, and real voices fighting for faith, freedom, and the future of this great nation with common sense. Here are some of America's Pulse Network podcasts. Alexandra Levine Live, hosted by Alexandra Levine. Jersey Shore Podcast, hosted by Damon Galdo. The Conservative Corner, hosted by Seth Eisenberg. The New Jersey State House Watch, hosted by Jack Brangan and Constance Detzel. APN's The Pulse is moderated by either Alexandra, Damon, Elena, or Seth. Also tune into America's Pulse Network on the following social media platforms. Join the revolution because the pulse of America beats for God and country. America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom, and truth.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Jersey Shore Podcast. And Damon Galdo here with Jack Brangan. And Jack, I just thought about this before I get into this Hammer segment. So now that you have a podcast on here and it says hosted by The Pulse on Wednesday, you and Constance got to get on that rotation to be the moderator once in a while. So
yeah, absolutely.
But
hey, we are so busy now.
We are.
Between that, we're working hard on the Damon Galdo for Congress campaign team, right? So, we want to get Damon going to Washington, D.C. So there's that. That's 2 full-time jobs. And then both Constance and I are involved with Moms for Liberty in the state of New Jersey. And Wednesday, the Commissioner of Education will have a public hearing, and Constance and I will be going up there to testify in front of the Commissioner of Education. And then Friday, we've got some other meetings with some other parental rights groups in the state of New Jersey. So life is full. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, it is. It is. It definitely is for sure. But I want to thank everybody that's listening right now and watching this podcast. Please like and subscribe to America's Pulse Network. And I want to thank everybody that watched the event on Saturday. We had something like 130,000 people in New Jersey that well, I don't know if they're all from New Jersey, but they actually watched the town hall for the U.S. Senate candidates. And I want to thank
that was congratulations to Ann. That was a great, really good event. You know,
I was going to give her the Patriot of the Week. So just so she, I was going to give it to her, but I had to do something different. So she'll get it next week, and you'll get it. But she put a great event together for that town hall. And thank you for allowing me to speak, and the other congressional candidates as well. I appreciate it very much.
You know, the nice part about it, it wasn't held in a big auditorium. I mean, it was inevitable that you interacted with the candidates. It was a small place, and everybody got to meet everyone, the congressional candidates as well. So it was a nice get together, and there were some challenging questions. I mean, nobody was playing nice with the questions, and they all did a great job. You know, like I said, I wish all three of them could be sent to Washington, but you know, they did a good job.
No, they did, and it was, and this panel segment is media messaging and public trust, and that was the first time I produced, because our great producer, other Damon, DW, behind the scenes right now, he couldn't make it up there. He had family function, so I had to take a crash course on how to produce and live stream and podcast and give a speech. You know, I was pretty flustered, but it turned out pretty well, man. It worked out good.
Right, you live cast with your phone, right? And
yeah.
Of course, your mom was calling you every 10 minutes, so that was.
Yeah, she was. Yep. I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and it kept ringing, and I had to jump up real quick and turn the button off. And I couldn't even text her to say, "Mom, stop calling me."
So Ann is saying 43,000 watched the full event.
I'll watch it from 43,000 watched. Oh, from beginning to end. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, the other thing was 130. I don't know how it works. I mean, 130,000 or so clicked on it, watched some of it, and I don't know how that works. But still, 43,000 is great. So, Ann, thank you very much. That's right. I forgot about that. My mom. Thanks, Ann. So, but yeah. So I'm just media.
Thanks, Donald, for all your comments.
Yeah.
I don't know Donald. I guess I'll meet him soon along the way, I hope. Yeah.
But this is about media trust, you know, this segment, Jack, because this is why, you know, my great producer, the other Damon, and the other two podcasters, Seth and Alexandra, and we have others as well. You, but that's why we started this network. And so I started my podcast, and we wanted to give a platform out to people, because media, I'll just say mainstream media are full of shit. Sorry, they are. You know, they are biased with things, and so am I. I'll admit it right now. I am biased with things because I believe in what I believe in. I'll tell you that right now, any listener. This is what I believe in, and we're good. So I will say what I want to say. But, Trenton, and you talk, you know, you see what bills are trying to pass, and you inform people, hey, listen, this is actually what's going on. You don't see that anywhere. People don't know what's going on. Nobody does. Because I don't blame them. I mean, no one's involved like we are. So I don't blame them for not going to Trenton and sitting there. Or myself, I listen to every congressional hearing, you know, while I'm driving to and from work. It's torturing. It really is. But I listen to it, so I get the information. No one else is going to do that. So that's why we do this. That's why you're doing your podcast.
Yeah, I have the time. I have the opportunity to listen. I do the same thing. I listen to the committee hearings in Trenton, and they're interesting in a really weird sort of way. I mean, you have to be a bit of a masochist, because you know, there's a hearing in the morning, hearing in the afternoon. Each one's 2 hours long, and for the average person, there would be no way anybody would sit through it, except if you're involved in this stuff. And I know when my kids were in the house, I there's no way I could have spent another minute on anything other than the stuff they were doing. You know, they take up 100% of your time and 100% of your money, right? So Yeah. So, but now, I've got the time to do it now. So I'm going to do it.
Well, I'm doing my best running against Norcross. He's a juggernaut, and I have 2 young kids, and even that they're I went to 2 recitals over the weekend. So as I'm, watching their game, the lacrosse game or baseball game for my son, I have my earbud in and I'm listening to the news. I'm listening to the congressional hearing, and I'm screaming at the same time. At my son, I'm like, "Go on, straighten your bat up, straighten your bat." When he goes up to the plate. So it is taxing. But hey, listen, I'm not looking for sympathy. I chose it. I want a good future for my children, not just mine, and everyone else's as well. I see New Jersey just tanking big time.
Right.
And it's almost unlivable in New Jersey. And I feel bad for kids.
As long as the Democrats are running things,
yeah,
the state is going to start being a tailspin.
And that's the thing, too, Jack.
They don't even want to fix anything.
Yeah.
They have no desire to fix anything.
Well, that's why we have to get the message out there to people. And that's the hardest part, because people don't realize it. You have to look at it. It's been ruled by Democrats for so long. We had a meeting with a wonderful person, 2 weeks ago, and she even said that she tells people you cannot blame Republicans for what's going on in this town. And she said because it's been under Democrat rule for over 50 years.
Yeah.
So you have to vote for a Republican, and she's a Democrat. And our policies may not align fully, but they realize that it's not going well on the Democrat rule. So Democrats have to realize that. Like, listen, hey, I'm common sense. You're common sense. It's like we only want what's good for the state and this country. So if you look at even in the clip that was played earlier, it was what was it? It's a 10 out of 10 different red cities that voted for Donald Trump had lower interest rates and stuff like that. And the 9 out of 10 voted for Kamala had higher. It just doesn't work. Their game plan does not work whatsoever. And they have control of the media, and the media, puts their stuff out there all the time, and people believe it.
In Trenton, on some of these bills that are so absurd and expensive, the Republican people in the assembly will stand up and give a, eloquent, response to the bill, logical, in some cases, moral, ethical. And the Democrats just sit there like stone cold, glass-eyed. They don't respond. They don't say anything. They just take it and then vote it in. They have no desire to fix anything in this state. None. There is no motivation to do it. It's not what they do. It's not how they're going to succeed. They just will not do it. With these tax credits, in the last legislative session, the last day of the calendar where they were in session, they voted for, I think it was $200 million in tax credits to, the people that own the stadium up there in North Jersey to fix it up, spruce it up. And, it's a multi-billion-dollar ownership that owns that stadium.
Yeah,
I mean, they need $200 million like a hole in the head, right? They can do it themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's $10 million for FIFA, advertising. Now, FIFA, this is a multi-billion-dollar operation here.
Worldwide.
It's the largest sports event in the world. We're giving them $10 million when, hey, if $10 million of Cherry Hill would have gotten all of us off the hook now, with the tax increase. They have no desire. They wasted $1 million on psilocybin studies. They were going to donate, $1 million to, I don't know, some organization to test psilocybin. So I don't know. There might be something to it, but that organization can do the testing on their own. They have no desire. They couldn't care less. Well, they don't care about the $7 billion with the sanctuary state. They don't care. No.
Yeah, that's insane. $7 billion that just New Jersey residents pay for a sanctuary state. It's insane.
Plus, on top of that, murders, rapes, children molested. They don't care. They could not care less.
They only care about power because power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And that's what they're about. Like I said before, Jack, I don't know if you ever planned on running for office until you did for assembly, but I never did either. I just, when I had my kids, I looked at the future and I've seen everything going on with the schools, with the taxes. It wasn't going to be sustainable for a future for them. And not just mine. I looked at everyone else's children too. We have to have a future. And I'll beat like a dead horse. My favorite quote from Emmett Burke is the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. And I'll say that every episode if I have to. It doesn't matter to me because it's the truth. Somebody needs to step up and do something.
We also need people to run for office. People that tune into this show and New Jersey State House Watch. Look, if I can run for office, anybody can run for office. We need people, like-minded people to run for office at every single level. Because even in Cherry Hill, there has not been a Republican mayor or even anybody on the town council for 40 years. So it's been Democrats for 40 years. That's nauseating.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's been a Republican congressperson in District 1 in 56 years.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Yeah, Camden has not had a Republican mayor, I don't think, since 1935. If the people in Camden think they have a future with Democrats, they are sorely mistaken.
Yeah.
They have to get rid of, understand that the Democrats do not care about anybody living in that city. The only thing they care about are their tax credits, building buildings, and having their buddies bring their companies into town. Democrats do not care. They don't care how many people get murdered. They don't care that the schools are horrible. They don't care.
Yeah, they want to keep you on. They want to keep you on the hook. I mean, look at Camden, New Jersey. Camden has always had the potential. It was a waterfront, town that had the potential to flourish. And people always looked at it like, hey, we can make this happen. But there was always corruption. It was Democrat ruled. There was the one mayor. They made a movie about him back in the day that he went to prison for a while because of all the corruption. A lot of people went to prison for it.
Yeah, even Republicans.
Yeah. It's like
it is so corrupt. And Republicans were part of it, but the Democrats have always run it. That's the thing. And nothing's going to change. They need Republican leadership in Camden to clean up and make life better for the people that live there. They need their, just lighted streets, beautiful parks. We have programs to fix up homes, replace the roof, get tax credits for the people, not the rich people. It's got to change. And school choice, the school choice, the money should follow your son or daughter. And if you want to send your daughter, take him out of Camden High or whatever the high school is now, and send him to St. Joe's Prep or Bishop Eustace or Lawrenceville Prep, that money follows your daughter. That money follows your son. That's the way it should be. That's how you start turning things around in Camden. And there is no Democrat in this country that will ever do that for anyone in Camden. They'll never do that.
No, they won't. Not at all. I mean, that's the thing. But like I said before, you can't blame any Republican for anything bad that's happening in this state right now because it's been under Democrat rule. I don't care if it's Camden City. I don't care if it's Cherry Hill. I don't care if it's West Deptford, throughout the state. For the most part, it's been under Democrat rule for a long time. We've been blue state for a while. So people need to wake up and you just say, you know what? if their way's not working anymore, it's time to try it someone else's way. Guess what? I'm running for Congress. It's 2 years, 2-year term. If you elect me, and you don't like what I'm doing, vote me out in 2 years. I mean, it's that
goes
simple.
fast.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so that's what it is. That's what it's about. But speaking of Congress, Jack, we're going to take a break. We're going to go to Hammer 4 because we're actually over our time, but it was a good conversation. Okay. Want to go to Hammer 4, and I'm going to talk about what Norcross. I'll wait for it. Let's take that break.
Hey, it's great to be on with you. This is a great podcast. It's a lot of fun, and it's informative, and it's real information. It's none of the frills and none of the nonsense that you hear on the legacy media. Just telling the story of what's happening right now. It's what I do with my newsletter that I get out to anybody who wants to see it. It's what you're doing with this podcast. America needs to know what the real deal is, and you're the real deal.
That's right, Jeff. I am the real deal. Thank you. No, he's a great guy, man. The CV2 congressman there. He's running for re-election. Jeff Antro is awesome. But I want to go on to this, Jack. I'm going to do the Patriot. Well, I'm going to do the Patriot and Loser Week Award. Okay. I do that all the time. Sometimes we do the punchable face, whatever it may be, for fun. But I have to give. I'm going to do the Loser Week Award first. I guess maybe we'll do that because the reason why I'm going to do that. This is Donald Norcross out there with cameras and news media, him delivering Meals on Wheels and all that to one house, by the way, and he put it out there. So, and he made a big spectacle about it, and he's copying me. That's what he's doing because I talked to my great producer, the man behind the scenes, and then talking about it, and I've been doing this for over a decade, and I got my children involved with delivering meals to there it is there. But deliver meals with my kids. And the first time, they were a lot younger then, and you'll see when they're going to get the Patriot League Award, but you'll see as they're growing in each video. So I didn't want to ever post that. I didn't think it was right. I didn't want to look like a fake person. Somebody that was just doing it because I'm running for office. I did it when I wasn't running for office, before I even thought about running for office, and even in between when I wasn't running for office. Every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, every Easter. Thanks to Steve DiOrio. Steve DiOrio runs this program. I've been working with him for a long time now, and I did it even before Steve. So I always felt like I don't want to put it out there because I feel like I'm using people. I took the videos for my kids because I love the fact that they did it. And the first time we did it, they came down. It was Christmas Day. Santa brought their toys, and they were like, "Oh!" And they were opening all their stuff. I said, "Listen, we have to go out and we have to deliver meals for seniors." And they were like, "What?" So they're like, "No, we won't play with our toys." I'm like, "Let's do it. It'll take a few hours." So they weren't happy about it the first time. We go out there, and then as soon as you pick up the meals, we're delivering them, and the lady opened the door, and she started crying. And we gave her a card and her meal, and after she closed the door, she said, "Thank you very much." And my children were like, "Why was she crying?" I said, "Because there were tears of joy. She was happy that you guys showed up on Christmas Day when she doesn't have anybody else, and you gave her a card, you made a card for her, and you delivered a meal to her." I said she was extremely happy about it, that she was crying because she was so happy. Now, my children, every year, every holiday, they look forward to it. They say,
"That's great.
Yeah. Say, when are we going to Uncle Steve, Steve DiOrio, he's the one that runs the program, and get the meals. So they know on whatever holiday it is, they can get up early, we're going to go deliver the meals, and they enjoy it. And it was great. But this guy, Donald Norcross right there, and Luca Pelli, he's another one, come on. So I posted it finally. I posted a video of it because my producer said, "Why not do it?" I I just didn't think it was something. I felt like I was like using that, like because I seen other people that would do it one time just because they're running, like Donald just did. So,
Right.
but he said, but it's you. He said you've been doing it for so long, for years. Why not post it? I posted it, and then this is where he comes out with his video out of the blue, because I know they stalk my social media and this.
Yeah, I didn't know you posted yours first.
Yes, I did. I posted it first, and then his team saw it, said you better get out there and do something. So let's run his first with the loser of the week.
Yeah.
For us here with Commissioner Director Lou Capelli, after we just delivered a hot, delicious meal to Joe down here in the city of Camden, part of the Meals on Wheels program that actually started back in 1972.
Yeah, it started in 1972, and you weren't even a part of it until like yesterday. So, I mean, this guy, can you get any more fake than him?
This program has been on automatic pilot running since 1972, whether they are there or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So, and he does it one time, one house, has the news media there. I think somebody actually posted on there, said they're walking their dog by there and said it was all staged, for the news media. Yeah, I guarantee it's because he saw my post that I put out there with my kids. Now, this one, I'm giving my kids a Patriot of the Week award. And this video is a little long. I think it's like 2 minutes and 55 seconds or so. But I want to play this because this is what they do. This is how you raise them right, but for the real reasons. Donald Norcross, he's a scam artist. He doesn't give a shit about anybody.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So let's do the Patriot of the Week award.
Merry Christmas. He doesn't get any. He's a bah humbug.
Oh no!
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, love.
Look at Daddy. Oh, Damon, good job. Good job.
Make them sandwiches.
We don't have to take a picture.
He's trying to take a bite of your dessert. I'll let you know that.
You want dessert?
I just walked the whole entire hallway. Wait, I found a ring.
Great. Well, he made it from his own turkey right here.
Oh.
Jack.
That's a nice video.
Yeah, they're the Patriots of the week. And you can see how young they were when they started, and they grew through the years delivering those meals, and they actually love it now.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, but Norcross, yeah, come on, stop it.
That's the one. That's the first one they've done in their entire tenure in office.
Yeah.
You know.
So
they probably got their fingers greasy and had to get them cleaned off afterwards.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is that they don't care about anybody. I mean,
no.
They really don't. And I'm sorry, Donnie boy. You know, I hope you watch this, but I don't see you caring about anybody. Everything is about you making money for your family, and you talk a good game. Maybe he's a good guy in real life. You know that. Maybe I could hang out with him one day. Maybe he's that guy you go to the bar with one day and just talk to him. He's a union guy and all that stuff, but not with his track record. And then it's just sham. It's lying to people.
They're frauds.
Yeah,
fraud.
So it's a shame. You know, it really is. But all right, Jack. Well, listen, we're going to go right after this. I'm going to talk about the candidates that are going, and then we're going to end the show. Thank you for coming on again.
Okay,
I appreciate it.
My pleasure. It's always fun.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Jack Brangan, New Jersey State House Watch. Make sure you tune into his show as well. So, but all right, let's go to the candidates real quick. Justin Murphy for U.S. Senate. Justin's our guy. He's awesome, and he got his haircut, by the way, as he was hot mic'd on the last podcast that we had. He was testing his microphone. He's like, "I'm Justin Murphy. I got my haircut." But Justin's the man. He's running for U.S. Senate against Cory Booker if he wins his primary. So let's get out there and vote for Justin Murphy on June 2nd. Next, who's this guy? Who's that? Oh, I'm sorry, it's me. Damon Galdo for Congress. I don't have a primary candidate, but I don't have a primary race. I meant so, but still go out there and vote. You're going to vote for Justin. You're going to vote for all these other candidates out there. Just vote for me anyway, because I want to know how many Republicans are going to come out. And this is a primary, so it's Republicans only to vote for me. And I want to just gauge how many people are coming out, so I know how hard I have to work to get your butts off the couch to vote in November. So we'll go next guy. Congressman Van Drew. He's an awesome guy, down to earth. He's the man. He's going to win, but only if you go out and vote for him. He's a great guy, great congressman, and this is a guy that will take any of your calls if you have any issues or whatever. He's down to earth, so he will definitely help you out no matter what it is. So next, Jason Cohen. Jason Cohen, he's been on the podcast, multiple times. He's a great guy. He's fighting hard, raising a lot of money in the 3rd district, and he has 3 other primary candidates that are going against him. So, but Jason's the man. There's other people that are good that are running in that district as well. But Jason, I've been with him since the beginning, and he is the best candidate. I have to tell you that. He definitely is. Next, Chris Smith. Get out there and vote for him. Again, like I always said, I never met him personally, but I've seen his platform. He's got his platform is awesome and everything he stands for. So make sure we get out there and vote for him. Hillary Herzig. I just saw her on Saturday again. She was on the podcast before as well. Hillary is awesome, and she has what it takes. She's great. So make sure you get out there and vote for Hillary in the 6th district. You have Tom Keene Jr., the incumbent. So hopefully he wins again. We got to keep the House. So make sure you get out there and vote for Tom in 7. And then Tiffany Burris. She is great as well. So make sure we get out there and vote for her in 9. Tiffany is awesome. Carmen Bugo, same thing. I got the same thing about him. So, and he's in 10. Get out there and vote for Carmen Bugo. Look at his platform, go on his website. Well, Joe Hathaway lost, so that's an old one. So Greg Muley he's the man. He's awesome. He was actually thinking about coming on tonight, but he couldn't make it. He's awesome. I saw him on Saturday too. He gave a great speech up at the town hall. But he's awesome. So that's what we have. They're the candidates. And thank you guys for joining us tonight. Thank you, Jack, for coming on. And so we're going to sign off and play my song. And then next week, I'm going to play the Canine Country Jam song because we have an event coming up May 30th. It's for the police and their police dogs. They fundraise for the dogs. But we'll get my song on this one, and next week we'll play that one. So, and also, I have a fundraiser coming up on May 17th. May 17th at the Sons of Italy. So I'll put it out there. It's already out there on social media. Then you never want to come. All the help I can get going up against the juggernaut in Dunham Norcross. So I know a lot of people are coming. I believe Van Drew is going to come if he's not in DC. But May 17th from 1 to 4 at the Sons of Italy in Paulsboro. So if anybody wants to know any more information about it, you can see it on social media or you can contact me and I'll let you know. But all right, Jack, signing off.
Okay. Thank you, Damon.
Thank you.
Good night.
Yeah. This one's for New Jersey. For every working family that's had enough. Name's Damon Galdo. And I'm just getting started. Job site dust to the streets of the shore. Steel-toed boots, yeah, I know what I'm working for. Middle class hurting, every bill going up. While suits in DC say, man, just trust us. I'm a builder by trade, put my sweat in the ground. Now I'm building up hope for my hometown. Jersey's my home, blue-collar soul. I don't make excuses, I get it done, that's all I know. I felt the pressure, I've lived that grind, trying to give your kids a better life. I won't forget where I came from, man, cause I'm built by work. I'm built by working hands, fighting for working families. Not a career man who forgot what hard work means. They talk real big, but nothing ever changes. While Jersey keeps drowning in the same old pain, I'll build a future strong for our kids in this land. I'm Damon Galdo, built by working hands. Yeah. Donald Norcross been there year after year. Same old story while the struggle's still here. Claims he's for workers, but look around town. Rent sky high, grocery bills breaking us down. Where's the relief for the middle class grind? Cause all I see is folks falling behind. I ain't got decades in some DC chair. I got skin in the game, cause my family's here. Time, they had their shot, and tell me, Jersey, what have we got? It's time for change, time for a stand, time for a work, and not another plan, not another plan, not another plan. Yeah! I'm built by working hands, fighting for working families. Not some suit who sold you fantasy. We waited long enough, it's time to demand a future built by honest hands for Jersey strong, for this great land. I'm Damon Galdo, built by working hands. Yeah, this ain't left, this ain't right. This is fight for what's right. For every mom working double shifts, every dad praying they don't miss. I'm running for my kids, running for yours, for a state that deserves so much more. Not talk, that's the plan. Let's build it back with a working man. For our children's dreams, for a better way. I'll fight for Jersey every day. No empty words, I'll take the stand. Cause I'm built by work. Yeah, I'm built by working hands, fighting for working working hands. New Jersey 1st District. If you're tired of the talk and ready for work, walk with me. Galdo, Galdo. Galdo, Galdo. Galdo, Galdo. Make the crowd chant with no music.
The Hammer thanks you for watching tonight's Jersey Shore podcast. See you at the next packed show, from breaking news to topics that will keep you informed. So please click the subscribe button to get notified of upcoming episodes. If you like what the Hammer talked about, then share the Jersey Shore podcast to others. Damon also looks forward to seeing you on the next episode.